Billy Napier has made it very clear there is a quarterback battle going on in Gainesville. Now, for those of you that have not necessarily kept a tremendous pulse on what the portal has given and taken away in Gainesville, Graham Mertz, by way of Wisconsin, is now in the quarterback room for your Florida Gators. And so some of you heard that there's an open quarterback competition and you got a little sick, felt a little uneasy because you're saying, man, if Graham Mertz can't beat out Jack Miller, if we're having to have a competition to figure this out, like, what are we doing here, y'all? I thought Graham was supposed to be the guy. I thought we were really excited about him, Coach. I thought he passed all the tests when it comes to, trying to figure out exactly what boxes you want checked for your quarterback, right? Whoa. Okay, let me just pump the brakes here a little bit on that way of thinking. I understand where you're coming from, but we got to take stock of what this whole situation means. Do you really want your starting quarterback, whoever it is, Jack Miller, Graham Mertz, anybody? I mean, I don't care who it is. Do you want them to just be handed the job? No. What do you want? You want them to have earned the job. And you earn the job in Billy Napier's program, through competition. And the reason why this should be encouraging for Florida fans, if Graham Mertz does win the job, which I fully expect him to, full transparency, I believe that will be better for him when it comes to game one. Do you really want them to have their first level of competition or their first sign of pressure when they play Utah game one? No, that's a muscle. Responding to pressure is a muscle, and you got to work it out. How do you work out the pressure muscle? By competition. Iron sharpens iron. That's literally what Billy Napier is preaching right now. He says, hey, we're having a competition. Best player's going to play. Let's rock and roll. Graham Mertz, I promise you, he knew that when he came to Gainesville. He knows what he signed up for. That's the reason why he's in the facility day and night. That's why he's working the way he's working. And I promise you, Jack Miller is doing the exact same thing when it comes to his effort he's putting forth to try and win the QB1 job. Okay, so I'll say that. Whoever ends up winning the job, be grateful, Florida fans, because that muscle to respond to pressure is being exercised through this competition right now in spring football. Now, if it is Jack Miller, if Jack Miller does end up winning the job, I got some thoughts for you. Make sure you're subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel, The Hard Count. We talk ball here every single day. You're a junkie. We're a junkie. Let's be junkies together and talk college football like we do, okay? So we appreciate you for that. Also, follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at JDPikel, okay? Now, with that all out of the way and behind us, like I was saying, Jack Miller, if he wins the job, how would you feel? I think the knee-jerk reaction would be, oh boy, here we go. Okay, a little bit harsh, but I see where you're coming from because the spring game he had a year ago wasn't phenomenal. Played against Oregon State in the bowl game this year. That wasn't phenomenal either. To be fair, the spring game, he was still sort of getting acclimated. In the bowl game, there was a number of guys that weren't playing. It's a tough situation to walk into and just start that game. What I would say, though, if you want to give like an honest assessment of what that would mean if Jack Miller won the QB1 job, you'd have to believe that he elevated his game to a new level in the spring and was good enough to take the job from a guy like Graham Mertz. Because Graham Mertz was brought in with every intention, for him at least, to be the starting quarterback. Yeah, he's going to have to battle for it. You want your quarterback to battle for it. But if Jack Miller wins that battle, hey, man, let the cards fall where they may. You won the battle. You don't watch a track meet and see somebody run the 100 meters, finish second, and say, nope, they should have been first. No, they literally finished second because of what the results were. So if the results say Jack Miller is your starting quarterback, great. He is the better competitor. He gives you a better chance to win. Billy Napier right now, I've said this before, there's some pressure on him right now in Gainesville just by nature of the beast that Florida football is and the branding that it has and the SEC logo and all that. There's some pressure on him. Whoever he goes with that quarterback, he's betting his job on. Now, I don't say that to say whoever ends up starting at quarterback, his job is in his hands and he could get fired after a year or two. Like, I'm not saying that. I think that would be wildly irresponsible if something like that were to happen. But you have to imagine, like, Billy Napier's job at Florida, by definition of being the head coach, is to win football games. A big part of winning football games is having the right guy at starting quarterback for you. So whoever Billy Napier trots out there, he's saying, yep, I trust that guy with my job. Let's roll, baby. Okay, so he's got a lot of stake in the game. If he likes Jack Miller, roll party. Jack Miller's your guy. Now, it may not be that way the entire year. I think he'll be flexible if things were to change. And, whether it's Graham Mertz or Jack Miller, I think they'll be flexible and go and be somewhat responsive, not reactive, but somewhat responsive to what's going to give them the best chance to win. But I'm just saying, whoever ends up winning the job, if it is Jack Miller, that means he elevated his game during spring and took the job. Because here's what it comes down to for me with Florida. A season ago, you had AR, who's lighting up the combine, lit up the pro day, has a ton of juice when it comes to what he could be in the NFL, right? Tons of talent. Some games you had AR playing at a level 10. Really, really good, right? How he played against Tennessee, how he played against Utah. I mean, you could go down the list here, and there was a lot of games that AR absolutely shined and kept you in it or won the game for you. But how much better are you if you just get a level 7 quarterback all year long? Because remember, there were also some games where you got like a 4 out of 10 version of AR. And that's not to dunk on AR. I think whoever drafts him has a chance to do some really good things. But what I want to say is I think Florida, if they just have consistent quarterback play, not level 10, but consistent quarterback play at a level 7 all year long, how much better are they a season ago if they get that? I think you probably beat Kentucky. I think you probably beat Florida State. There was a number of close games that Florida found themselves in. What if they just get a level 7 quarterback all year long? I think that's what they're going to ask of whoever's playing quarterback for them in 2023. Because you got Trevor Etienne. You got Montrell Johnson. You're going to be a running football team. You're going to let those dogs off the leash and let them go eat every single Saturday. Do you get consistent quarterback play to allow you to complement that run game? That's what I want to see. And that's what I think it will come down to for Graham Mertz and Jack Miller. Translation, don't give the rock to the other team, man. And don't miss when we got wide open shots downfield because those safeties are tired of having to fill the run every single time from 8 yards. They're lined up at 6 yards. You hear what I'm saying here, right? Hit on explosive plays. Don't give the ball to the other team. Be consistent. Make your layups. And we'll be just fine. If they get that a year ago, I think Florida might be an 8-win football team. So that's how I feel about it. But a quarterback battle going on in Gainesville is not a bad thing. In fact, I would argue it's quite the opposite. This has been The Hard Count. Nick Break Lifting Heavy. This is your show. Okay, we talk college football here every single day. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at Judy Pakel. Just a great way for us to interact. So we appreciate y'all in advance for that. But we love y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. We're going to keep the party rolling, and we will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.